How's it going, troops? Jordan here, bringing you episode 13 on my Call of Duty Ghosts weapon guides. In this episode I will be covering the K7. The K7 is a fully automatic submachine gun. It is a Korean weapon that was designed between the years of 1998 and 2000, and it is manufactured by Korean company Daewoo Precision Industries. In real life, the Daewoo Precision Industries K7 is a fully automatic submachine gun. This weapon has a unique trait to it, as it has a built-in silencer. The K7 fires the 9x19mm parabellum cartridge. The real live rate of fire of the K7 is at 1,100 rounds per minute, which is more than the rate of fire in Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer. Production started in 2001, and production still carries on today in present time. At the same time the weapon started production, the weapon was immediately entered in service in the same year. It is currently used by the Korean Special Forces. As of right now, there are no other variants of the K7. However, the K7 was based on the Daewoo K1A submachine gun, so I guess you could say that the K7 was a variant of that. So now that we've talked about some real life information, it's time to take a look in Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer. The magazine size for the K7 is at 32 rounds. If you equip the extended mags attachment, this boosts the magazine size up to 48 rounds. As I previously said, the rate of fire in game is less of what it is in real life, and the in-game fire rate is at 895 rounds per minute. The reload time is quite quick for the K7 at 2.5 seconds and 3.2 seconds when empty. So far the weapon's looking pretty good, but now we're moving on to the bad aspects of the K7, starting off with the recoil. The recoil for the K7 is quite high, meaning that this weapon is not meant for accuracy over range. The second bad aspect of the K7 is its damage. The K7 has the worst damage figures in the game, dealing 34 damage up close, taking 2 shots to the head and 3 shots to the body to secure a kill. Over distance the damage drops off significantly to 15, meaning it's going to take 5 shots to the head and 7 shots to the body. Luckily for us, the weapon is a submachine gun and not an assault rifle, meaning that the weapon is supposed to be used in close quarter anyway. So now that we're taking a look at some stats and figures of the K7 in Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer, it's time to move on to my recommended attachments when using the K7 in game. My first recommended attachment has to be the foregrip. With that high recoil in play, your shots are going to be inaccurate when taking targets out over medium ranges. But like I said, luckily for us this is a submachine gun and it is meant to be used in close quarter engagements, so you don't necessarily have to use the foregrip, but I recommend it anyways. My second recommended attachment is extended mags. Having extended mags gives us 48 rounds per magazine, which definitely helps us out since the weapon deals low damage, and having more bullets allows us to take more shots onto enemies, allowing us to hopefully secure the kill, in which if we didn't have extended mags, chances are we wouldn't have. The foregrip and extended mags are the main attachments you want to use when using the K7. The last two attachments that I recommend aren't that very useful, but you can use it anyway depending on your situation. My third recommended attachment is rapid fire. With the fact that the weapon already deals a fast fire rate, but by increasing the fire rate even further, it means that the weapon is going to be a lot more deadlier in close quarters. And finally, my fourth recommended attachment has to be the red dot sight. I tend to use the red dot sight when playing search and destroy and when I'm rushing, so it's not exactly necessary since the iron sights are pretty clear, but if you're playing S&D, and like I said, if you're doing what I'm doing and you're rushing, then the red dot sight can provide a bit of accuracy over medium ranges. So moving on to my recommended perks for the K7, my first recommended perk has to be ready up. With any SMG you want to have ready up, allowing your weapon to be ready after sprinting. This means that you can easily spray from the hip and secure a kill in close quarter engagements. My second recommended perk is marathon. Because the K7 is an SMG, it means you're going to have fast mobility, and pairing up with that fast mobility, having unlimited sprint, allowing you to get to objectives and allowing you to sprint across the map and get kills. My third recommended perk is dead silence. Dead silence keeps your footsteps quiet and it's definitely useful, especially when you're using marathon and you're running and gunning. You don't want the enemy to sound out your location no matter what the situation is. So by equipping dead silence, it allows our footsteps to be hushed. My fourth recommended perk is off the grid. Because the K7 has a built-in silencer, you can use off the grid to create a stealth build. My fifth recommended perk is steady aim. Steady aim goes paired with ready up, allowing you to recover the weapon after sprinting, and having that increased hip fire accuracy allows you to spray from the hip in close quarter engagements. My sixth recommended perk is focus. Like I've said in my previous weapon guides, focus is generally a good all round perk to use, allowing you to flinch less when getting shot at and reducing that idle sway. My second recommended perk is Sit Rep. Again, Sit Rep goes well if you're making a stealth build, allowing you to see where enemy explosives are or enemy kill streaks that might kill you. And finally, my last recommended perk is Ping. Once again, Ping is a perk that you want to use when making a stealth build with the K7. Simply killing an enemy will release a sonar ping, revealing any enemies in the nearby area. And finally, moving on to my recommended class setups. My first class setup is built for stealth, allowing you to quietly run and flank your unaware enemies while being undetected. For my attachments, I went with the foregrip and extended mags. I went with no secondary, lethal or tactical, leaving the rest of the points spent on perks. For my perks, I went with Marathon, Dead Silence, Off the Grid, Sit Rep and Ping. For my strike package, I went with Support, and for my strike chain, I went with the Satcom, the Support Squad Mate and the Oracle. My second class setup is more for a run and gun and objective style play. For my attachments, once again I've gone with the foregrip and extended mags. I've gone with no secondary, however I've gone with a lethal, being the throw knife, and a tactical, being a concussion grenade. For my perks, I went with Ready Up, Marathon, Steady Aim, Dead Silence and Focus. For my strike package, I went with Assault, and for my strike chain I went with the Satcom, the IMS and the Sentry Gun. So overall, the K7 is one of those weapons that is very fun to use, and if you're generally bored of playing Call of Duty Ghost multiplayer and you want to have a little bit of fun, then I suggest try the K7. Competitive wise, I would not recommend to use this weapon because of that low damage. So this concludes my weapon guide to the K7. Join me next time when I'll be covering the USR Sniper Rifle. If you enjoyed this video, then a thumbs up would be much appreciated. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.